To my mind, and this is why I emphasize the point, and perhaps didn't come over sufficiently clearly. To my mind, really the foundation of a free society is not the law as such. It's what I referred to as the liberal temper. And the liberal temper is precisely the things you pointed to. It's the ability to doubt your own premises and to face up to the consequences of those doubts. What I see happening in the world is, as I said, is the decline of the liberal temper. And most of the phenomena that we observe, be it the ones I pointed to, some of the ones you pointed to, though you and I might disagree about some of the analysis of them, are symptomatic of that decline. To my mind, what has replaced it is even uglier than just what one might regard as the illiberal temper. What has replaced it, I believe, very clearly in Australia, but also elsewhere, and you pointed to the US, and I have a great deal of sympathy in that respect. What has replaced it is what I would call the politics of hatred. And the politics of hatred are the politics where coalitions are not based on any view of a better future and a better society and how to build it. But they are held together, they are created and held together by a transient series of common enemies. In Australia, this didn't start with the Jews. I believe it started most clearly with Cardinal Pell. The appalling episode where there was a profound challenge to the intellectual and moral foundations of the rule of law, notably the presumption of innocence, the rush to guilt, the search for a scapegoat, the fact that even after a unanimous High Court decision, the public mood, or parts of the public mood, were so ugly and so convinced that they were still right. Why were they right? Because he was detestable. They hated him. He was easy to hate.
The baying mob.
Then the politics of hatred migrated from there. We saw them with the excesses of #MeToo, right? When it went into excesses. We saw it with the destruction of statues. Right? We saw aspects of it during COVID. We saw it during the referendum. And then, now, we're witnessing again these coalitions that don't have anything in common other than the fact of the people they hate and of the need to hate someone. Not to dislike them or disagree with them, to hate them. Right? There's a marvelous old, very old article by Anna Freud on hatred, which you may know. And in this article, which is partly based on her observations of hatred in Austria in the period surrounding the Anschluss, she says there's a profound difference that marks out this area. A good lover is a person who is faithful to a particular object of love. And what counts for that person is the object of love. That's whom they love. That's love. Hatred, she says, is the antithesis of that. Because a good hater is a person who has a charge of unused aggression. And that aggression has to find an outlet. And it finds an outlet by turning from hatred to hatred. Good haters, their key feature is that they're mobile. They can move from one object of hatred to the next seamlessly, so long as that unused aggression is being worked out. And that's what we've seen in Australia. Its roots are deep, its consequences terrifying. And I don't believe it's an incurable condition. I don't mean individually. Individually it may be incurable. Right? You remember that marvelous line of Freud's where he said, you know, the problem with psychoanalysis is that it's not only very difficult, it's not only impossible, it's also extremely difficult. And I don't believe it's either impossible or very difficult, but I think there are things that we can do about it. Right? But if we don't do things about it, then I think it makes for a politics that is not going to go away and is going to remain extremely ugly.